Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. Today, guys, I've got a real corker for you all. It may surprise some of you, but I'm willing to bet it won't surprise hardly anybody out there. You know that biased left-wing media outlet that we have here in the UK, namely being the BBC, who expect you to pay, over £160 per year now to watch their shite programming, their news that are constantly full of lies and mistruths or whatever you want to call them, and of course the comedy programmes that they put out that's about as funny as having a case of anal cancer. Well, they are coming up and proposing changes to how the BBC licence fee is going to be charged, and one of those considerations is, drumroll please, charging people the licence fee for viewing things such as Netflix and Prime Video streaming services. Now, there's a news article here about this, guys, which the BBC has responded to these proposals, which is quite comical in itself, which we will get to momentarily, and it reads as follows. The BBC has finally spoken about the prospect of Netflix users being charged for the licence fee. Reports have surfaced this week that individuals who use Netflix and other streaming services might be required to pay the licence fee. Not on your Nelly, I will never pay the BBC a single penny for as long as I have a hole in my arse. I would much rather go to prison than pay towards Gary Lineker and various other left-wing parasites that are on that channel, on that station, on that media outlet, whatever you want to call it. Under proposals being considered by the Labour government. Labour MPs alongside Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy are exploring ways to finance the BBC following the end of its current Royal Charter in 2027. Here's a mad idea, guys. Advertisements. That's how Channel 4 does it, ITV does it, and a whole host of other TV stations across the globe. Stop trying to push this money onto the taxpayer. We don't want it, we don't want to pay for it, and we do not want to watch their shitty programmes. End of story. Well, a huge percentage of people don't want to. There's a lot of people out there still who are still too scared to cancel their TV licence because they're scared a detective van might be outside the house scanning their house, which is absolute bullshit. It's an urban myth. There's no such thing as a TV detective van. They might get into trouble. They might have the police round. They might have people knocking on the door with a clipboard. Even if you do get someone knocking on the door with a clipboard, which is very, very rare, you just shut the door in the face and say, no, thank you very much, and away they go. Treat them as door-to-door salesmen even. They work on commission. The more people they can get signed up to reapply for a TV licence, the more commission they get in their wage packets. They are door-to-door salesmen, and they are not worth the steam off your piss. One suggested route for the future funding is to impose the annual licence fee on households that exclusively utilise streaming platforms, as reported on Tuesday. That's basically my household. We have Prime, we have Netflix, we have YouTube, etc., etc. And if this was to be imposed, we would simply stop subscribing to them. It's as simple as that. There are ways and means, different loopholes that you can go through to view the things that you want to view through downloading piracy and using VPNs, that kind of a thing. So yeah, this will not work, especially in my household. According to Bloomberg, discussions regarding the plan have taken place within the Prime Minister's office, as well as among officials at the Treasury and Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sports. Ministers are also contemplating a tiered licence fee system which would adjust charges according to household income so that less wealthy households aren't paying the same as those with higher incomes. It's still a forced expense. You are still expected to pay this by law. It should not be compulsory. If you're going to change anything, stop making it compulsory. If you want to pay for the licence fee, you pay for the licence fee. If you watch the BBC, you pay the licence fee. If you don't watch the BBC and you don't want to pay it, by all means don't. It's your choice. But stop threatening people with these big letters with big red writing on and investigation initiated and all this shit, all these scary words that for people who are not in the know and don't understand these things, can be quite scary. Some old biddy, Phyllis, Betty or whatever, gets one of these through the door when she cancels her TV license fee because she simply can't afford it. She's like, oh my God, I better start paying this again. Then she's sitting in cold, not being able to put her heating on because she has to pay £160 per year for something that she probably doesn't use. Another approach would be to maintain the licence fee relatively unchanged, save for minor adjustments and improved enforcement. Noted an individual with knowledge of the internet talks. A spokesperson for the BBC commented, "We want everyone to get value from the BBC. Well, do something about your programming then. Do something about your news presenters. And do something about these fucking ridiculous BBC verifying fact checkers that fact check things and then lie in the facts that they provide all the time. You see it on their social media, you see it in their programs. It's all based on bullshit, a whole narrative that they have to follow under government strict orders, obviously. Which is why we're focusing on delivering what audience want from us. Trusted news, the best homegrown storytelling, and moments that bring us together." There was a video not so long back by Paul Joseph Watson, who put out a compilation of the BBC daytime show. It's called Doctors, and there was a storyline in there about a doctor who didn't go along with his daughter's trans outlook on her life. She wanted to be a man, and he was very based about the whole thing. Something I'd say to my daughter if she went down the same route, and he was deemed as some sort of demon, predicted to be some sort of devil. He was mocked by his co-workers. You know, all follows this woke DEI crap that's constantly being pushed out by the BBC. Hence why thousands upon thousands of people stop paying their licence fee. You want to give people what they want? Stop pushing this shite and make great comedies like you used to back in the 90s and early 2000s. The public cares about the BBC. Yeah, of course it does. That's why, like I said, thousands upon thousands of people per year are cancelling their direct debits. Of course they care. We will launch our biggest ever public engagement exercise so audiences can help drive and shape what they want from a universal and independent BBC in the future. We look forward to engaging with the government on the next charter and securing the long-term future of the BBC, reports Birmingham Live. Right, guys, in a nutshell, like I said at the top of this video, in the middle of it, I can't really remember where it was, the BBC needs to go down either a subscription route, similar to Netflix and Prime, that kind of thing. Make BBC iPlayer a subscription-based thing where you pay a monthly fee to watch their shows, etc., or go down the advertisement route. I personally will go down the advertisement route. That way the fee gets scrapped entirely, and lower the salaries for your fucking parasitic presenters such as Gary Lineker. Stop paying him millions and millions of pounds per year to host Match of the Day. Lower his wages to a more acceptable salary. That way you'll have more money for production, for better quality programming, and for better quality news outlets and news sources, if you ask me. It shouldn't be a compulsory fee. It should never be a compulsory fee. It's done. It's archaic. It's out of date. No one wants to watch TV anymore. Everyone watches YouTube and everyone watches Netflix and Prime. They don't watch television, and hardly anybody listens to the radio. That's just my opinion, guys. I thought I'd bring this rather humorous story to you. Do let me know what you think in comments. What are you going to do if they start pushing the licence fee onto Netflix and Prime and things like that? Would you cancel them, or would you find some sort of loophole like I would, like a VPN or some kind of piracy website? Do let me know in comments, and I'll see you in a bit. Enjoy your weekend, guys.